Welcome to ICSOM's monthly series of videos to feature our musicians of color. If you're keeping score, you might have noticed that I'm not, in fact, Paul Austin. I'm Stephen Lafer. I'm a horn player in the Rochester Philharmonic Orchestra, and I'm pleased and honored to take over presenting duties for these short videos over the coming year. For my first video, I'm equally happy to speak with one of my own colleagues here in Rochester, Chiao-Wen Cheng, who is the principal keyboard player in the RPO. A native of Taiwan, Chiao-Wen is a relatively new member of the RPO, having joined the orchestra at the start of this current season. She's also an assistant professor of accompanying at the Eastman School of Music and a piano instructor at the Eastman Community Music School. Welcome, Chiao-Wen. I'm really happy to get to speak with you.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you for having me.
Should we get right down to it?
Sure.
Okay, 5 questions for Chiao-Wen Cheng. Number 1, can you tell us a little bit about the first time you heard a symphony orchestra?
So the very first time was actually not a live concert. It was at home, if that counts, with my dad. This was when I was maybe 5 or 6, like really, like a kid. So the most memorable one probably was the video recording of Yo-Yo Ma and the St. Petersburg Philharmonic Orchestra playing Tchaikovsky Rococo variations together. That recording, I think I watched with my dad probably a million times. We used to, after dinner, we just watch it every day. It's kind of routine for us. And I think that's probably the first time, or at least the first one that I remembered watching together. And then I just loved it because the sound and the colors of, all the things that an orchestra can do. It's the variety of different things. And I loved it since then.
Yeah, that's fantastic. What originally led you to choose the piano?
My aunt is a pianist, and I was her very first piano student. So I think it was very natural for the family that she finished her degree in US and she came back to Taiwan, and I was right about 3, 4 years old. And it just looked perfect for her to kind of practice teaching, just practice on me. So I was her first student. So I started playing piano, but then after 3, 4 years, I also started violin. And that is the instrument that I played in the orchestra first. And I played both piano and violin pretty equally. I spent equal time on both instruments for a number of years until college. And it got to a point that I really had to choose one because, one can only spend so much time on one instrument if you want to actually get better. So I just felt really natural at piano, more natural than violin, for like technique stuff. So that made me choose piano. But then the very hard decision was that choosing piano at that time, to me, it means that I am losing the orchestra experience. And so that's something that when I was a kid, I really felt like, oh, I loved orchestra, and then I've been playing violin in it, but very sad that I had to, choose piano. But anyways, now thinking back, I'm just really grateful that I'm be able to come back to orchestra experience.
Sure, that actually was kind of my next question, because when people think of an orchestra, the piano is not typically the first instrument that comes to mind.
That's
So
right.
the last few years you've been a piano professor at Eastman, was there an aha moment when you decided, hey, there's this audition for the RPO, is this something that I think I want to do now?
Yeah, it's actually when the pit position opened up, when I saw the audition coming up, I started thinking, oh wow, maybe I can try, because that's something I always wanted to do. And now that I have a couple of years of experience at chamber music, and also just from playing piano repertoire, I do have some facility that I think I can try to practice those excerpts and see if I can make it. And thankfully, now I'm just really grateful that this feels more complete for me to be able to be at piano, but also at orchestra.
That's really wonderful. Yes, best of both worlds. So you're just about to complete your first full season with the RPO. Have there been any really special concerts so far that really stick in your mind? Something you'll always remember?
Because I only had 1 year with RPO. Actually, every concert I played are memorable and special to me.
Good answer.
But if I had to pick, I think it was I would probably say 2 different concerts that I would remember it forever. First one was the Jurassic Park movie. This is the movie that I grew up watching again, and then it was my first John Williams movie, and I loved it, and I also loved the piano solo at the end. So I was so happy to be able to kind of re-experience this movie, and on stage was kind of being part of the movie. I thought that was so cool. I loved that one. And then I would say the second one was when we did the Stravinsky Petrushka. It's just, as a pianist, that's something we just always want to have the opportunity to be able to play, and I felt really lucky and honored to be able to do
Well,
that.
we were lucky to have you because you sounded fantastic on that.
Thank you. I love that concert. I felt so thankful to be able to be there and then practice and then playing that concert.
That's great. If today's Chiao-Wen could give a piece of advice to herself during her student days, what would you go back and tell her?
That's hard. It's a hard question. I think I would tell myself to, besides spending a lot of time at practice rooms, maybe try to get out of the practice routine once a while and just to experience and see the world more. I feel like when I was a kid, I spent maybe the entire day in the room practicing, but there are so many other things besides music that I wish I could be a little bit more involved in, and then maybe connect with different people, cultures, and then just kind of get out of my own comfort zone a little bit. If I were to go back, or if I can, I don't know, change something when I was little, I would probably do that.
Well, the good thing is it's never too late.
That's right. Yeah.
Final thoughts. Anything you'd like to share with us that I haven't asked that you might like ICSOM's listeners to know about you or about life in general?
For me, this is just my personal experience, but every day I just really feel grateful that we are able to do what we love at work and share that with different audience every day. I think that's something that's very special. And every day when I get out of my house and go to work, I am really happy, and then I keep reminding myself that I'm able to do that, and then I love it, and it's great, and I want to share music more.
That's the key to a successful life. And that wraps it up for us. Thank you so much, Chiao-Wen, for sitting down with us and letting ICSOM musicians get to learn a bit more about you.
Thank you. Thank you, Steve.
Bye now.